Welcoming all the Dhammas. This is the Shiva Society. This is Vishnupriya. The topic today is mind, our friend, again, very important topic. About our life is very important about. So, Maharaj was engaged to in the 1970s, and ever since he has been very important contribution to the community. We have more than 50,000 subscribers from more than 100 countries. We have been conducting the roads and activities and relationships. And it's very straightforward presentation. Very good music. Teaching from music also. Talent has by a person who has to make the efforts. Staff. So, I think some power.
Sounds like a hurricane in here. Let's turn all the fans off. It's not hot. All the fans off. What is it? What is it?
They can hear.
No, I want to be able to hear when they ask questions also. One more time. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatha Dalakamala Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sajaitam Savadutam Parijana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radham Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalitam Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namaham Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadyadeshatarvine. So, is the mind our best friend or is the mind our worst enemy? Today's modern day civilization, they take the mind as the best friend. Whatever mind one wants, yes. Some beautiful girl, yes. Some liquor, yes. Some cigarette, yes, yes. Okay, go for it, isn't it? Whatever the mind wants, give it whatever it wants. Some porno, whatever it wants, let it have it, isn't it? So, in such a case, the mind is the worst enemy. But the sadhus, They have learned the art of controlling the mind by fixing it on God, Krishna, Rama. They have learned the art of how to control the mind, keeping it fixed on the transcendental platform. So for those persons, the mind is actually the best friend. Krishna describes this very nicely in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 26. Yato yato nischalati mannaschanchalam ashtaram tatastata nayam tat atmanyeva visham yaya. This is your Indian culture, actually. Indian culture means Bhagavad Gita culture. It doesn't mean technology. It means Bhagavad Gita, the Vedas. This India, your India is the home of the Vedic wisdom. Srila Vyasadeva, Torah Vedas, the 108 Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Srimad Bhagavatam. This is your Indian culture, not Bollywood. So you have the greatest culture in the whole world, but now you're forgetting it, running after technology. So let India get back now to original culture, which formerly empowered her to lead the whole world. Formerly, the whole world was India. When Christopher Columbus went from Spain, sailing west, he was looking for a shorter route to India. That's when he saw the natives in North America. He called them Indians. So we call them the red Indians, the Native American Indians. So formerly, this whole planet was India, guided by the great sages who follow these teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The translation is, from wherever in the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. So what is the self? The Sanskrit word for self is Atma. What is the actual self? Is the self the body? I am male, I am female, I am Tamilian, whatever you call it. Is that the actual self? No, that self is constantly changing. At every moment, the old blood corpuscles are dying off, and new blood corpuscles corpuscles are taking their place. The body is in a constant state of constant flux, yet the conception of I remains the same. That's the Atma, I. Your sense of I-ness, I am this, I am that. That I is the actual self. So the mind, you can let it do this, you can let it do that. You have the control over your mind. You can let your mind take control, or you can be in control. So the sages, they keep their mind under their control. Now the yogi may sit in some secluded place, engaged in pranayama, sitting posture very, very rigidly, keeping the mind fixed on one point. Is that possible for most of us in the modern age to go to the Himalayas, become yogis? Is that very practical for us? It's difficult. We might try to sit down in the morning and meditate with our minds dancing. Here, running. So how can we actually control the mind? It's running like a naughty kid, running here, running there, running. How to control that mind? That is the beauty of the process known as bhakti yoga. Whatever you're doing, try and learn how to use that in a way to control your mind. We like to eat, isn't it? Everyone likes so many restaurants. We're driving here, so many restaurants, dates and nuts, so many restaurants we saw driving here. Everyone likes to eat. So why don't you eat prasad, the food offered to Krishna with love and devotion? So by dovetailing all of your normal activities with Krishna or God, your mind becomes controlled. What about sleeping? Well, you sleep enough to do your service for Krishna, not oversleeping, not undersleeping. Whatever sleep you need to be healthy, to engage in Krishna's service, that's sleep you can. What about mating? Everyone likes sex, isn't it? So instead of having sex for fun with your married wife, you have sex for producing saintly children. And what about defending? We all have a tendency to defend, so we have to defend ourselves against the attack of the demons. The demons attack, we will defend. So in this way, engage all the activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and fending in the service of the Lord. In this way, the mind is automatically controlled. My spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, has given a very nice purport for this verse. He says, the nature of the mind is flickering and unsteady, but a self-realized yogi has to control the mind should not control him. So it's one way or the other. You can control your mind, or the mind controls you. If you control your mind, you're called Goswami. Go means senses, so the mind is the king over all the senses. A nice example is given of the chariot. There's the passenger of the chariot, there's the driver of the chariot, there's the reins, and there's the horses. So the horses are the senses, and the mind is the reins, and the intelligence is the driver, and the self is the passenger. So the intelligence is the driver. So if you don't use your intelligence for controlling your mind, that means you're throwing the reins up in the air. Okay, horses do whatever you want to do. Where will they take you? Off the cliff. So don't let your mind run wild. Use your intelligence to keep that mind under control. Intelligence is like the mother, and the mind is like the naughty kid. So then your mind becomes your friend if you're controlling it very nicely. And then the chariot can go very nicely to the desired destination. What is the desired destination? Make a lot of money, become famous, become powerful. Is that the real goal of life? Well, you can achieve all these things. You can be a big, big prime minister of India, a big, big Birla, big, big wealthy person, big, big famous Beatle or rock star or this cinema star or this or that. But those things are all temporary. You may achieve them due to your past pious activities. You may get some big position in the material world. The time of death, finished. So why strive to do those things which are only temporary? Is that very intelligent thing? To put all your energy into achieving something that's temporary, that will be taken away from you anyway in due course of time? Why not use your intelligence to achieve something which will never be taken away? That is called self-realization. When you reestablish your loving relationship with that Supreme Person, Krishna or God, the source of all existence, then that relationship, that's called self-realization or spiritual perfection, Krishna prema. When you achieve that position, that's never taken away. In such a state of mind, upon leaving your present body, you re-enter into the spiritual world to live as an eternal associate of the Supreme Person. We may achieve this or that in the material world, but death comes and finish. We take birth again. Birth after birth after birth after birth, going through birth, death, old age, and disease again and again and again and again. So why remain trapped here in these fourfold miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease? Become liberated and go back to our original position beyond birth, beyond death, beyond old age, and beyond disease. Our Krishna consciousness movement is teaching this principle. And beloved Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada is teaching this principle. It is called the Krishna Consciousness Movement, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. ISKCON doesn't mean big, big temples or big, big that. The real meaning of ISKCON is to revive your original dormant, enlightened consciousness that is sleeping within you right now. Actually, every one of us is an enlightened sage. We have pure love of God sleeping within our hearts. So by the association with the bona fide spiritual master, by hearing the words of the bona fide spiritual master and learning how to follow the words of the bona fide spiritual master, you actually revive your dormant Krishna consciousness sleeping within you. So all we're really saying here, my dear ladies and gentlemen, my dear listeners, is just be who you are. You see? We're not here to impose something on you, you're doing the wrong thing, now you should do this. That's not the real point. The real point is be back to who you actually are. Would you object if I said, no, you must be who you are? Will you object to that? No, I don't want to be who I am. But anybody would object to being who you actually are? So the trouble is, you know why we're suffering so much? We're trying to be that which we're not. I'm trying to be a male, a female, an Indian, an American. I'm trying to be the owner of this car, the owner of this smartphone, or whatever it may be. I'm trying to be what I'm actually not, and that is a big problem we're having. We're so much in anxiety, we're so much in stress. We're trying to be what we're actually not. It's artificial. Like a fish is envious of the people on the land. He says, let me become a land creature. He gets washed up on the beach and he wants to stay there trying to be a land creature. So we're like a fish whose natural environment is the water, who's trying to be happy as a creature of the land. You see, I'm trying to be the Lord of everything that I survey. You see? I'm the Lord of this, I'm the Lord of that. We're trying to be the controller or the center of all existence, but that's artificial. The fish is flapping in agony on the beach. He cannot be what he is not. But if he's back in the original atmosphere, he can be completely happy. So all we're saying to you, my dear listeners, is get back to being you actually are. You're actually a spiritual being. You're not that material body. Your male body, your female body. You're not, that's not actually you. So stop trying to be that. You can't be your body. It's impossible. But we kept trying to be our bodies, and therefore we're frustrated and miserable in so many ways. So stop trying to be what you're not. Just get back, as Krishna says, Jivera Savrupahai, Krishnera Nityadas. The constitutional position of living entities, he's the eternal servant of Krishna. You may say Ram or Nishinga. God has unlimited names, but the point is, when you get back to being who you actually are, now the name Krishna is the chief of all the names. Every different name for God. There's so many different avatars, incarnations of God. Rama, Nishinga, Vamana, in this way. But every single incarnation has certain qualities and characteristics, certain attractive features. Just like Rama is famous in a certain way, Nishinga is famous in a certain way. But when you come back to Krishna, Krishna includes all the attractive features of all the different incarnations because they're all emanating from him. Ramadi Muti Shakalana Nishtam Nanavataram Upadeshakintu Krishna Swayam Samrabat Parabapamanyo Govindamadi Padisham Tamahabajami. I worship Govinda, the prime of the Lord, and manifested himself personally as Krishna, the different avatars, the Ramana, Shingavama, etc. It's the subjective portions. So if you can just connect with Krishna, and the easiest way to do that is chanting his names. Everybody knows that. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So what does this chanting do? This chanting is not something artificial. It's actually revival of being who you actually are. Getting back, awakening your original identity that's sleeping within you for thousands and millions and millions and trillions and quadrillions of lifetimes. It's a great benediction, this Hare Krishna mantra, mentioned in the Vedas. It's not something invented by the Hare Krishna movement. It is something mentioned in the Vedas. So there's so many different poems, so many different songs, so many different this and that and this and that. But this Hare Krishna mantra is the perfection of all sound vibrations. By chanting this mantra, by hearing this mantra, you're waking up your original identity. Lord Chaitanya said, Jeev Jago, Goro Chanda Bole. My dear sleeping souls, how long will you sleep in the lap of the witch named Maya? Just wake up, wake up, wake up. If you're having a nightmare, wouldn't you be happy if somebody wakes you up? No, I enjoy my nightmare. What is a nightmare? I'm this body, I'm Indian, I'm male, I'm female, I'm a young man, I'm an old lady. This is called nightmare. We're suffering in the nightmares. But if you actually can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, your mind becomes your best friend, and you can actually realize, yes, I'm not this body, I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. I have no problems. Actually, we have so many problems. You know why we have so many problems? Because we forget who we actually are. The difficulty is we forget who we actually are. making some adjustment here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So let us not continue forgetting who we actually are, causing ourselves so many difficulties. It's very easy to become happy. We just have to remember who we actually are. That's all. Celebrate your eternal existence. This is why the devotees chant and dance in ecstasy. They're celebrating their eternal identities. Everybody likes celebration, isn't it? Ever having a party tonight? Everybody celebrate. But this Hare Krishna movement is a party. Who would object to going to a party? We're having a party tonight, singing and dancing in ecstasy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. We're celebrating our victory. It's like when they win some soccer matches, there's a big celebration, right? They become the soccer champions, a big celebration. We have a bigger celebration because we're conquering over the material nature. We're conquering over birth, death, old age, and disease. It's better than a soccer victory. We're conquering birth, death, old age, and disease. What could be a better celebration than that? So we're asking the whole world to come and celebrate us, get rid of these nasty material miseries which are torturing us millions and billions of lifetimes. Who would object? Who would object to it, enjoying having unlimited pleasure, unlimited happiness that never goes away? Brahma Satyam Tvanantam, that spiritual happiness that goes on increasing forever and ever and ever. It's like becoming a rich man, becoming richer and richer and richer. 1 million rupees, 10 million rupees, 100 million rupees, 1 billion rupees, going on trillion, quadrillion. Just imagine you become unlimitedly wealthy or unlimitedly famous. I'm famous, the most famous person on this planet, and the most famous person in the whole universe, and the most famous person in the multi-universes. Just imagine many things can go on increasing forever and ever and ever. But we have something even greater than that. We have something greater than that. Krishna Bhakti arriving our original identities, and the ecstasy just goes on increasing forever and ever, more and more nectar, more and more bliss, more and more ecstasy, more and more knowledge, more everything goes on increasing. So why go on? Why stay suffering in a miserable condition? We get ever increasing happiness. It's a very simple formula. Srila Prabhupada came to the West and he said, "You all are suffering here. You know, the most wealthy, powerful, famous nation in the whole world, yet you're miserable. Why are you so miserable? Because you're falsely identifying with a material body. You're misidentifying as you're the symbol of blood and flesh and bones and urine and stools. That's why you're not happy." So Prabhupada taught us that we're not our material bodies. He gave us so much love also. It wasn't just the knowledge, it was the loving dealings of Srila Prabhupada. See, this movement is not based only on knowledge, it's based on love. Krishna is giving us his love. Everybody likes love, isn't it? We all like to have loving relationships. That's why we have nothing else. We can keep a dog. I saw some lady tonight walking her dog. Everybody's looking for loving relationships. But just imagine you're going to have a loving relationship with the supreme lover of all lovers, Lord Sri Krishna. You have it. Krishna said, Sishridam Sarvabhutanam, I'm the most intimate, well-wishing friend of all living beings. Just imagine if you can have a sweet, intimate, loving relationship with that supreme person, the source of all existence. You don't even go to the temple. You don't have to go to the holy places. You can be anywhere in the whole universe. You can be anywhere on any planet in the whole universe, and Lord Krishna is just sitting right there. He's next door neighbor in the heart. There's the Atma and the Parama. Krishna is very close. He's right there with you at every minute. The expanded form. And you can actually connect with the original form also, Bhagavan, by loving relationship, by loving feelings. So the Bhakti Yoga system is a process, a scientific process, how to get back to loving relationship with Krishna. Whatever you eat, you offer to Krishna, yat karoshi yadishnasi, yat ahoshi dadasi, yat. Whatever you're doing, you do it for Krishna. You want to go somewhere and sing something, go to the holy place. You want to hear something, hear some bhajan, some kirtan. Whatever you like to do, learn how to connect that with Krishna. You like to eat, take some Krishna prasad. Whatever you like to do, whatever you enjoy doing, poetry or music or philosophy, anything you have a talent or a tendency to do that, do that and connect it with Krishna. We don't say don't do these things, but do all these things. If you like to dance, dance for Krishna. If you like to paint, paint for Krishna. See, if you like to do this, you do that, do it for Krishna. You dovetail everything with Krishna, you become happy, you become perfect, you become free from all anxiety. So it's a very simple process. We invite you all to absorb yourself in this. Give whatever you're doing, whatever talent you have, use it in the service of Krishna. Your life will become wonderful, and you will have an uplifting, revolutionary impact in this greatly troubled world we're living in right now. We need Krishna conscious leadership. We want all of you to become powerful leaders in this planet. This planet is suffering like anything because they've taken Krishna out of the center. They put themselves in the center. It doesn't work. There's so many conflicts, this conflict, that conflict. It's like in the body of water, you throw your rock here, I throw my rock there, the waves coming out from all the rocks will conflict, all constantly conflicting. In this world, everybody thinks I'm the center. Even the dog thinks I'm the center. Woof, 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 what are you doing on my street? There's so many conflicts in here because everybody thinks there's a center there, where there's constant wars and conflicts going on. Even the threat of nuclear war is there. The whole planet may be turned into a grave. They push a button here or there. That's all it takes. One button, the whole planet's turned into a whole grave. That's how it's gotten as bad as it's gotten now. Everybody will die of nuclear war. The whole world will become uninhabitable from nuclear waste. So it's all due to this false concept of center. I'm the center, you're this, who's the center? No, I'm the center. No, I'm the center. My nation's the center. No, my nation's the center. But if we can put Krishna back in the center, Ishavashmidam Sarvam, if we put Krishna back in the center, the whole world will become peaceful and happy. This whole planet will be turned into a paradise, like it used to be. Beautiful, clean air, clean water, wonderful, loving relationships of everyone. Government leaders will be thinking of the welfare of the citizens, that think of me loving the government leaders. All we have to do is put Krishna back in the center and all the problems will be solved. So that is the mission of the Krishna conscious movement. Teach you how to put Krishna in the center, how to teach the world leaders how to put Krishna in the center so the whole world can become peaceful and happy. Does anybody have any questions? If Guru Maharaj, you'd like to add some points?
The topic here is the mind friend or enemy? I'm gonna ask you a question, see if anybody can answer. Krishna gave us all this mind, intelligence, false ego, whatever Krishna gave us. Did he make a mistake? Did anybody answer this? Did he did the wrong thing? Give us our mind, ego. Did he make a mistake of giving us an enemy or a friend? Nobody answers it. Krishna has not made a mistake. It's how we are utilizing. If you have a knife, is the knife enemy or a friend? We make. The mind is not neither friend nor enemy. How are we going to utilize it? That is the decision. Master has given us everything for a proper use. So if we use it properly, as he says, according to the our manuals, which are given by the Shastra, then automatically everything is friendly. But if we break the rules and regulations of the material world, then everything is an enemy. You are going to put in the box. So nothing is friend. And how are we going to utilize that rule? Questions?
Any questions? Did you hear the lecture or not? Your mind right enemy is running here and there. Your mind was your friend, that means you tuned in the lecture. Anybody tune in the lecture? Your mind is running. Looping the loop around the Milky Way. Anybody hear the lecture tonight? No? Raise your hand if you heard the lecture. You tuned in the lecture. Okay, only a few people heard the lecture. About 5 or 6, right? Nobody else even heard the lecture. Why would you didn't hear the lecture? That means your mind is your enemy. You let your mind be your enemy. You weren't tuned in. Only 5 or 6 people heard the lecture in that. Why you others didn't hear the lecture? You have any reason? Why the others didn't raise their hands? Why you didn't hear the lecture? Anybody explain why you didn't hear the lecture tonight? Why your mind is going somewhere else?
Because the mind is the end.
Your mind is your enemy. You let your mind, we're here to teach you how to make the mind a friend, but then you let your mind be an enemy, even sitting in this lecture, because you didn't tune into it. Are you tuned in now? How many people are tuned in now to what I'm saying? Raise your hand. Only about half. Only half of you are tuned in what I'm saying right now, so your mind is still your enemy. So we're here to, maybe we should beat your mind with shoes, take some shoes and beat your mind with shoes tonight. All those you let your mind be your enemy, you're trying to beat your mind with shoes tonight. We have any, I have some sandals.
I guess those who didn't raise the hand, those who did not raise the hand, they disagree with what you have said, but they don't have any question.
Is everything clear? Or there's some confusion about it? Does everybody understand? Question. Okay.
Thank you very much for coming and giving us some time and assistance. The question, actually, I have many questions, so I'll start with one. The mind, the more we try to control it, the more it becomes turbulent and it doesn't get controlled. So after years and decades of trying to control the mind,
She's asking you. I could see by her eyes she was looking, asking you about it.
More if I control the mind, or if that's the enemy and use.
You cannot control the Lord's given precious gifts. You cannot control because you are not the master. If you engage in his service, it will be automatically controlled. Yeah? Yes, you have to. No, you have to engage because mind is very flickering. So there are 9 processes. If you are constantly engaged in one of any of these 9 processes, it will automatically be controlled. Since we have so many gaps in here and there, so it has a chance to run from this and that way. So we should not give any gap. Okay.
No gaps for mine. Any other questions? Come on. Yes, here's a question. Only our own men are asking questions. Here's a question.
How to activate subconscious mind with the help of Bhakti Yoga? How to activate
What is it?
How to activate subconscious mind with the help of Bhakti Yoga?
How does the subconscious mind
Activate.
Activate.
How to
Activate
activate it?
with help of Bhakti Yoga.
But you take your conscious mind and fix it, the subconscious mind will follow automatically. If you fix your mind in Krishna consciousness, conscious mind, subconscious, it all becomes properly situated. It's like Krishna says, yato yato. This verse, but from wherever the mind wanders, do its flickering and unsteady nature, we must only withdraw and back, bring it back out of the control. Okay, mind, come back to Krishna. So the mind has a tendency to wander, just like when you dream, your mind goes wandering here and there. But while you have a chance to fix your mind when you're awake, bring it back to Krishna, and then even when you dream, your mind will be fixed. Say, okay, how do I bring my mind back to Krishna? Well, there's so many nice verses. So the Hare Krishna Mantra, you go to the temple, take darshan of the deity, you hear from the spiritual master and the sadhus. Take every opportunity to bring your mind back to Krishna. It's like in the morning, you can get up before sunrise and chant Japamala, for example. In the mind, before sunrise, it's very easy to control the mind. It's a very peaceful time of the day. And once the sun comes up, it's run here, run there, go here, go that. How to get this is y'all are students here? Y'all are students, and this is a learning institution or not? No. So whatever you're doing, how to make money, how to get a job, we're all running after this, running after that. That happens after sunrise. The mode of passion kicks in. But before sunrise, the mode of goodness, the time for meditation and fixing the mind is very powerful. So right before sunrise and chant Hare Krishna mantra. The Japamala beads is very helpful. Get some Japamala beads from the temple and chant the Japamala Hare Krishna mantra before sunrise. And the mind will become very happy and peaceful, being fixed in Krishna consciousness. And then throughout the day, you can say, let me do I'm running here, I'm running there. Let me do it all for Krishna's pleasure. Yat Kadoshi Yadashnasi. So the spiritual master, the sadhus, will teach you how to fix your mind throughout the day, 24 hours a day. So the conscious mind, subconscious mind, it all becomes fixed in Krishna consciousness. Okay? We had another question there from Govardhan. And another one? Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Maharaj, for wonderful lecture. Maharaj, just continuation to Mataji's question, how to control the mind. So suppose Mataji answered one that we have to constantly engage our mind to the service of Lord. But being employed in various office and other work, so in between that continuation goes. So how to remember Lord or being absorbed in different work in the office and other.
How to make your mind Krishna conscious during your job? Well, job means money, right? Why are you working? Get the money, right? So learn how to spend that money in a Krishna conscious way. Take what you need, your bodily maintenance, and the rest of it engage in Krishna service. So in this way, by engaging your wealth in the service of the Lord, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer, as well as whatever you give away, do it as an offering to me. So then you should contribute liberally to help spiritual master, to help the movement to be successful. We have so many donors from our members who are working jobs, and by their donations, and we have beautiful temples. We have books being published. You can also distribute books at your job. You can keep some books there in your workplace and engage the co-workers in reading these books also. There's so many things you can do. You simply have to have a desire to be Krishna conscious and spread Krishna consciousness. Be in the mood of a spiritual warrior to make your boss Krishna conscious. So in this way, we have that desire to push forward Krishna consciousness. I'll help you in every situation, with your shopping, the doctor's office, on the bus, in the train, wherever you are. Be in the mood of preaching, and you'll find it makes it very easy to be Krishna conscious when you have that mood. Okay? Want to add something to that? Want to add some more to the answer? How to be Krishna conscious of the job? Okay. Any other questions?
That is our manual. We follow the manual. Everything is all like 90% also. The manual says that Karmanya Dev Eva Adhikaraste Apaleshu Kadati. Result is not yours. But we give it for our sense gratification. Then it mind becomes enemy. We utilize anything for our sense gratification. Our mind is an enemy. And if you engage it in the service of Krishna, as Krishna says, Yat karosi yadasnasi yat jurosi dadasi yat tapasyasi konte tat kurusha madarpana. If you do that, your mind is friend, your everything is friend. And Krishna gives us something, you have to follow. Materially, if you buy something from the store, you have to follow the manual to make it function properly. So Krishna has given us mind, body, and all that, and the body. If it's used in service of Krishna, it's friendly. Otherwise, it's wrong. Okay?
So your mind is your roommate, not you. You want to live with an enemy or a friend? Who wants to live with I want to have a roommate who is an enemy. So your mind your roommate, make it a friend or an enemy. I saw right here. You had your hand up yet?
You talked a lot about bhakti yoga and how we should work towards going back to the spiritual world. But we have also to perform our prescribed duties. It's also mentioned in Bhagavad. But and it is also that we should perform our prescribed duties even with thoughts instead of doing the duties of others. So it means that each of us have different duties. So I want to know, like, how to identify what is our duty.
How do I,
Identify our duty.
how do you know what your duty is? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, give up all the duties and just surrender to me. You have one duty, ekadharma, surrender to Krishna, that's your only duty. Other duties, kick him out. You have one duty only, fully surrender to Krishna. And he delivers you from all your pop when you do that. Sarva palpebhyo mokshishami mashuchaha. Don't worry, fully surrender to me. I deliver you from all your simple reactions you've had for millions of births. Say, okay, Krishna, I'm yours. I fully surrender to you. That's the one duty you have. Ekadharma, only duty you have.
I got that point, but in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka, I don't remember it properly, but it said that everyone should perform their prescribed duties, even if they make some fault with it.
And do that for Krishna. Just like Arjuna's duty was a warrior, right? So he was thinking, I don't want to do my duty. I don't want to do my duty. No, you do duty and give the result to me. So if you're a scientist, you do your science for Krishna. If you're a poet, write poetry for Krishna. If you're a businessman, whatever you are, do it for Krishna. That's your duty. Don't give up your nature, but engage that in Krishna's service. What is your nature, sir? Are you a student? Are you a professional? What are you?
I don't know that. That is why I was asking. I'm not sure what I want to do.
Huh?
I'm not sure what I want to do.
Well, then surrender to Krishna. I wasn't sure either. I was a young college student in America, and they said, what do you want to major in? And I couldn't choose anything. So I'll just go to India and be a sadhu. That was my choice. So we have a nice ashram for brahmacharis. You can be a brahmachari in our ashram. Unless you have a particular thing you want to do, you can't make your mind. Just be a brahmachari in our ashram. Be a preacher, a pujari, and our nice services. You can do that. It's available for you. What's the difficulty?
Duty.
Actually, I kind of want to do that, but I have other commitments to my parents right now. So I cannot convince them to let me pursue brahmacharya. I cannot convince my parents to
All the
pursue
parents. Yeah.
So that's the issue.
My dad was really cool with what I was doing. My mother didn't like it. She brought me a Bible. Son, here's the Bible. But she didn't realize Jesus says the same thing in the Bible. He says, Father, not my will, but thy will be done. So she gave me the Bible, but Jesus says the same thing. Surrender to the will of God. So ultimately, you want to please your parents, or you want to get out of the cycle of birth and death, because you had millions of parents in millions of lifetimes. Where has it gotten you? Ultimately, Krishna is your original parent. Ultimately, you have to do what Krishna wants. Now, ultimately.
You're asking your duty. Krishna has given Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das. That is your duty. Understood? Means all the jivas are eternally servants. So right now we are serving other senses or temporary relatives, so many things, instead of serving Krishna. So you get temporary result. So if you want a good result, serve Krishna. You will. Either we're gonna serve either material nature or you're gonna serve Krishna. So you can make yourself know that you are servant. Who you want to serve? Who is your master? That is your duty.
See where you get the best result from your service. You're going to be a servant anyway. See where I can give my service to get the best result. That is intelligence. Otherwise, you're a fool and a rascal. You can keep them. I have one already. Keep it. I have one already. Any other question? That was a nice question. You have to do ultimately what Krishna wants. You've had millions of parents in millions of lifetimes. Ultimately, what, of course, do it in such a way, be tactful with your parents also. You don't say make your parents have an inimical relationship with your parents. Have a nice relationship. But you make your parents Krishna conscious, and they'll be blessed you to become Krishna conscious. That's the best thing.
What is the duty of the son also? Living with the parents, right? That after, not after death, but before death.
Actually, my dad, he was on the deathbed. My wife and I we chanted kirtan as he leaving the body. He was in total anxiety. He went there, like his eyes were totally in anxiety. And we started kirtan, became very peaceful, and boom, he left the body. So we delivered my dad back to Godhead. You see. So your duty is to deliver your parents back to Godhead. That's the best son. Deliver them back to the spiritual world. You become fixed in Krishna consciousness and bless them with Krishna consciousness. That's your real duty as a son. Next question. It's a very nice question. I appreciate it very much. This shows your intelligence. Now, if you don't have many questions, I'm wondering if you're intelligent or not. Those who ask questions, that means intelligence. So there we go. Here's an intelligent boy. No?
Because they are most of them asking that it's also relevant to me. Should women be working if we are trying to reach conscious?
What is the question?
Should the women be working jobs? They are conscious.
According to Vedic culture, the woman, go ahead. You do it. The best question for you.
Do the needful. If you need, then work to part-time to survive, for survival. If it's not necessary,
Even in America, when I was a kid, some of the women were at home, were all housewives. There was no women in the workplace when I was a kid growing up in the US, back in the 50s. This idea of women in the workplace is a modern day concoction. Modern day concoction. Women in the workplace is a modern day concoction, a demoniac civilization, to be honest with you. It's something now that's so hard to earn a living. See, back in the old days, one man, my father working a job, could easily support the whole family. Easily support the whole family. The houses were much less. Nowadays, there's so much debt for buying a car, buying a house. Even 2 incomes is not enough to pay the bills. That's how bad it's gotten in the US in many places, in Australia also. It's a demoniac civilization. The actual culture, go back to the original culture, they would have some land, they had some cows and finished. The husband didn't, his work was to go out and till the land and take care of the cows. That was Vedic culture. Vedic culture, the wealth means how many cows you have. That's how you're not paper money or cryptocurrency or all this nonsense. Real wealth in Vedic culture is how many cows you have, how much land and cows you have. That's a wealthy man. But this culture is totally demoniac. Work, a little paper, and even the husband and wife working so it's not enough. Get sent the kids to work also.
We are the one who has made this culture. Human. So we cannot blame the culture. We are the one made the culture.
It's our stupidity. Because we want to make ourselves the center. That's the problem. Because they've taken God out of the center. That's why all the problems have come. In America, on our currency, it still says in God we trust, but they don't really trust Him. They trust in money we trust Him, but they really trust Him. That's the problem. It's a false statement in God we trust. But they actually in money we trust. That's the real thing. It's the real problem. Because in money we trust, therefore the whole society has gone to hell. In money we trust. Rupees. Yeah, question.
So just to this one question, I want to thank for the glorious service. So I'm one of your subscriber on the Ultimate Self-Realization course for the last 16 years. So there are many times I ask questions to you, I got instant answers. So thanks for the service. Just I'm curious to know from where this innovative idea and this seed came, the Ultimate Self-Realization course. Bad is this. Innovative idea. Online.
How will come to you like that? How will
Where the idea came? So he's a subscriber for 16 years. He's a subscriber. of
Oh,
our-
thank you very much. The Ultimate Self-Realization course, everybody can sign up for free. Go to www.joincourse.com. It's free. And you get guidance every day on how to awaken your Krishna
So
consciousness.
he's getting answers. He's very happy. We're getting guidance, instant replies. He's very grateful to you. And he's curious how you got this idea, such wonderful idea.
How I got the idea for the Ultimate Self-Realization course? Well, when I first joined as a young man in 1971, I was 20 something. My spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, would order me, he said, I see you're very sincere and enthusiastic boy, eager to push toward this Krishna consciousness movement. He said, now continue enthusiastically as you're doing, and surely Krishna will bless you. So I heard about this thing called the internet many, many years ago. I said, well, this is the way to preach. So I started doing it. What was it, 2006, something like that, many, many years ago. I think it was 2006 I started it. Huh?
2003.
2003, yeah, like 21 years ago. 2003, isn't it? And now we got 16,000 people signed up from all over the world. And it's very effective. My books come here tonight. Anybody bring my books? I also have a book also, but bring me one copy. This tells the amazing story how an American boy who was running after the American dream realized it's an American nightmare, and he said, forget this, I want something better. The Divine Love Memoir, anybody that gets one, then I'll sign it. So it's available also for how many rupees? 350, a special discount price of 350 rupees only tonight. So anyway, any more questions?
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji, my question is that as you said, sadhus can control their minds, right?
Control your mind.
Sadhus can control.
Yeah, so become a sadhu. You become sadhu.
Can control their mind. So why they can control and I cannot? So what is that reason? And and what?
Arjuna was not a sadhu in the forest. He was a professional man. He's a professional. A professional can be just as much of a sadhu as a sadhu in the forest. He used his occupation as a warrior for Krishna service. So if you're a businessman, you're high tech, whatever you're doing, follow Arjuna's example and use it for Krishna. Now you become also a sadhu. Okay?
One more question is that controlling our mind, what does it exactly mean? What
Fix your mind in Krishna consciousness. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, 24 hours a day. Sadhu means mind fixed in Krishna, 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 hey. That's sadhu, always fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Please.
Want to add something? Go ahead. Go ahead. Another question.
Hare Krishna Guru. Last 2 months ago, it happens. I'm trying to chanting Hare Krishna mantra and control my mind. But I find I never get any change by last 2 months. My mind is still diverting in chanting. In between chanting,
You're chanting, but your mind is still wild, running wild. So it's like a what they call it in America, a bucking bronco. They would be wild horses running in the prairie, and they would train the horse to be a tame horse so they can use it for riding. So your mind is like a bucking bronco. It keeps throwing you away, throwing you off from Krishna consciousness. You gotta keep bringing it back, bringing it back, bringing it back. Okay, you rascal mind. Keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and gradually you'll win the battle. It's a battle. The mind is wild and uncontrolled. You say, no mind, stop being like a little kid in the house. You see, he's all kind of naughty, running here, running there. How does the child become trained up? The mother is very strict. Okay, you rascal mind. Okay, you little naughty child. Now do this and don't do that. And gradually the child learns how to become well behaved. Your mind is like a naughty little kid. You be like the mother and keep training and training and training and training. The mind finally gives in. Says, okay, I'll accept the training. Understand?
class, they are quite constant. Response we are getting is very negative. So they are not even coming at they are not even coming in the outcome. For the team. So after getting this kind of failure, we stop preaching. So how to
So you're preaching without getting good results? Just like a salesman, you see. He's going out to sell, carpets door to door. How many people buy a carpet when you go door to door? Very few, isn't it? They say, well, I went to 100 doors, nobody bought a carpet, so I quit. You gotta keep, there's a saying in sales, some will, some won't, so what? Next. What does Krishna say? Manusha shu. Out of 1,000 among men, only in one knows ever perfection. And out of 1,000 who have endeavored perfection, hardly even one knows me in truth. So you just gotta keep on, try this person, that person, go, never lose your enthusiasm to push for this movement. And if you have that, you keep pushing, and keep trying. Finally you get somebody to go, wow, this is great. Never give up your determination to push for this movement, and you'll find the results come in due course. They do come. Actually, everyone has Krishna Bhakti within their hearts sleeping right now. So those persons who dedicate their lives to preaching, they will go down in history as the saviors of the world, even though right now hardly anyone takes to it. But even you give one person out of 1,000,000, you've made a great victory. So you approach 1,000,000 people with Krishna Bhakti and see if even one is inclined. Out of 1,000,000, you find one who's interested. Out of 1,000,000 who are interested, one will actually become a devotee. That's the statistics. So the statistics work in your favor if you have the enthusiasm. I want to make the whole world Krishna conscious. Let me just go out and preach. And you'll get results, I guarantee you. And according to your level of purity also. To whatever level of purity you have, Krishna gives you more and more shakti. So you have your own purity, your own purification program of reading, chanting. You have Prabhupada said, read, chant, and preach. So the first thing is you read these books and you chant Hare Krishna mantra. Read as much as possible and chant as much as possible. That will give you more and more shakti for preaching with. Does that help? Okay. Anything else? How much time do we have? It's already 8 o'clock. So what we're going to do now is anybody who wants this book, come forward and squeeze in one more. This is the last one then. No more questions after his. Okay, go on. Come on. Distinctly and clearly speak.
I have a question. Mostly, I forgot some things.
Mostly.
But I have studied. Just now I have studied things, but when I recall things, it didn't get so how can I improve this according to?
But the memory power, not able to remember.
I remember.
So whatever he studies, he forgets very easily. So how to improve?
You're very forgetful, huh? You get forgetful? Well, that's why the books are very helpful. You can have a Bhagavad Gita. That's what I do. I have a Bhagavad Gita in my iPad. You see. I forget, like I learn a verse and I forget it. So I go back, okay, refresh. You know something, after a while you forget it, you got to go back, read it again. Nishalati. I memorize verses, I forget them. So you got to go back and refresh. It's like you're studying any subject matter. When you forget it, you go back and do a refresh and refresh. It's a matter of study and concentration. When you forget something, you go back and read it again. It's like, have you forgotten your name? Do you know your name? See, that you remember. Just as you remember your name, you can also remember Krishna if you focus enough. Remember Krishna also. It's a matter of training, that's all. Your name is on your ID, you've heard it a million times, your parents told you about that, your friends, so it's easy to remember it because you're constantly associating with it. So the more you associate with Krishna, the more you remember him, just like your name. Okay? Okay, that's it. Now anyone who wants to book, come forward. Guru Manaji might have some closing words. Go ahead.
You can record it. Now, better technology is there, you can record it or make the notes. But then if you have forgetful, you go back and check.
So that's,
We said no more questions. Lovely Guru Manaji.
okay. So they are interested in this book. This book summarizes.
Books are in the back.
Books in the back, and you, after you better just come back here and I'll sign it.
Yeah. So this book will be autographed by Maharaj himself and Maharaj also for me. Please, the advantage of this book is that all the answers to the questions. Please come forward.
Can answer the question.
Hare Krishna.
This book has these contents. So it's basically about Maharaj journey, spiritual journey. So it has part one, which is my path to perfection. And the chapters are my humble beginnings, college, freshman, existential, dilemma, Peter, for the kids. So forward lifespan from drama major to enlightenment teacher, mystical gender, backward flies, eight Asbury, born, returned to Denver, Berkeley campus, green pastures in Austin, Dubai, San Francisco Bay, Austin, double metamorphosis. Saved from the army, back to California, Christmas trip to Missouri,
Hare Krishna.
discovering divine revelation in Austin, meeting the Swami, amazing festival in Dallas, a ton of events in Austin, a profound, somewhat profound transformation, night was speaking to the Lord, super ecstatic, Rathi After festival, getting to the Lord special mass. Initiation into the transcendent dimension, and part two is life into transcendent dimension. Resituated in my factual identity, depicting the Miami robbers, simply wonderful pastime, side of the box. These are the chapters, and so here they experience the most incredible, super ecstatic thrill of their entire life by entering into the splendorous dimension of divine love that has been sitting within me for countless years. I discovered it, and now I want to share it with you. Are you ready?
So in December 1968, Steve Rich, a young American college student seeking spiritual enlightenment, decided to give up this material world, go to India and become a holy trader. But on the way, he realized that the logical conclusion of negating everything is to negate negation itself. Thus, he knew he had to find something positive to accept. So he reversed direction and hitchhiked west to San Francisco as the Penguins returned plotting Hindi on a nation to bring a new age of love and peace to our pretty troubled planet. He wrote hundreds of songs there and became a well-known musician who shared the stage with some of that era's most famous rock bands. Not satisfied with simply being a much advanced musician, his final desire was to attain spiritual enlightenment, which he intuitively knew would come soon. He expressed this in one of his songs. Do you think I did waste my time playing around in misery when I am so close to Nirvana? Then, through a profusely profound, providential progression of episodes, he was blessed with entering the dimension of divine love, in which the most secrets of secrets were revealed to him. He wants to now share this blessing with you and with the world that present needs it more. So if you want the book, so the books are there in the back. Get them out. Will be
Subscriber for last 20 years.
Oh, that's wonderful. So happy to hear that.
Nice place to disappear off the site.
That'd be nice. I'd like to accept it.
Music also we can regulate our mind. And so now sessions we have one round of chanting the mantra. Also we begin the session with the sound vibration and also it's our mind. And we also be starting with the sound vibration regulate the mind. The food.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Very nice lecture.
Very nice lecture. Krishna's mercy.
Shatbuj Prabhu was here only, like
Huh?
Shatbuj Prabhu, like who is in now Mandi.
I can only hear one person at a time. What
Okay,
is it?
so Shatbuj Prabhu, who is your disciple?
Oh,
Shatbuj Das.
I have hundreds of disciples.
Yeah. So he's in Mandi.
Huh?
He's in IIT Mandi. IIT Mandi. He's in IIT Mandi.
What is it?
He's in IIT Mandi. He's a professor in IIT Mandi.
The Bible professor is my disciple.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
So he was here only. He did PhD from.
He's my disciple also?
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
And he did PhD from here.
That's nice. I'm going to make all the PhDs my disciples. That'd be very good.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm just. Yeah, he's online, but he does.
I would like to thank
Otherwise, we could ask him that you can come online if you want to talk. Okay. Hare Krishna Sadhguru Das Prabhu. Maharaj is here and we talk about you with him. So is it possible for you to come online, turn on the mic and camera?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Prabhu, can you turn on the camera?
No need to.
Okay. Because Kaushik Prabhu talk about you with Maharaj.
Yes. Good like understood. Yeah.
Okay, bro. Sure. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
shopping mall, shoe stores and stuff. It's very simple. Krishna was arguing for him. You read their books also. Read their writings. I'm to the top of my crew, even without having met him first. By hearing how much, hearing a disciple, how much love they have. I never tasted love in my whole life. I sang that good doctor. So much love in their voices. I knew that I must also be that feeling. So I never missed off of it. Later on, I met him later, though. I tell him I was doing the work I knew. One thing though, this decent city, Krishna was sitting there. Decent city, Krishna was
I request all of you.
Then later, after I accepted him as my guru, later on I didn't make it. It was after I accepted him as my guru. I accepted him before I met him, and after I met him, I accepted him and used him. It's not in the book. It's in the book. You can read about it. Huh? Guru lives in the form of his teachings, not his physical presence. He lives in the form of his teachings. That's how he looks. Body is here today, young and teaching in our kingdom. So you, by hearing my studying the teaching, that's how you can studying the teaching. My book will give you a good idea of where I'm at. You can join my resource. It's a big secret in my house. It's a very first step. They get them at source. It's like you're coming now. My e-person, my e-person. Never do is not do that. That's this is your, where's my iPhone? I'm picturing my iPhone in my guy. I have it here, somebody removed it. Maybe oh, here it is. Hey, here, this way I can remember you and everything. You do. Let's see, yeah, put your name here. Type your name in. Oh, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.